Good evening. I'm sure that, oh, there we are. Good evening. Thank you for coming out and supporting your students. Our first piece was a piece entitled Mysterion by Vince Yassi. It's a new publication. I always like to do something new at these events, and didn't they do a great job with it? Give another hand. We're going to change gears a little bit, and we had fast and exciting, and we're going to totally change to slow and pretty. One thing with bands this age, most people would look at band directors that work with these students and say, "Oh no, don't do slow and pretty. Slow and pretty is not in their repertoire. Go with fast." I like always exposing the students to lots of different types of music, and contrary to popular belief, students this age can play beautifully. And so we think that enhances everything they do if they're able to really express beauty as well as excitement. So this is a little bit of a stretch for us. They've worked really, really hard, and so I know you're going to enjoy In a Quiet Place. Again, I want to thank you for coming out and supporting these wonderful students. Sometimes the journey that we have with our students is an interesting journey. When you start in 6th grade, and if you think back, you remember the squeaks and the squawks, and you thought, oh my. And then you started noticing that the lines became kind of familiar at some point. And if you notice, you know, the more time they're spending, it just keeps getting better and better and better. That wouldn't happen without a lot of people. That wouldn't happen without the support from home. That wouldn't happen without amazing teachers in the classroom. And so credit to all those folks for spending time on a very worthwhile activity of music. I want to thank the Tulsa Public Band Directors for inviting me to come out. I've had just a blast with the kids today. Last night, the weather was not kind to us, and we didn't have our rehearsal, and I went to bed thinking, okay, there was 3 hours that we didn't have. Maybe it will snow, and I don't have to worry about it tomorrow, in case we really miss those 3 hours. Well, Dick Farrow was not kind at 6 a.m. He said, oh no, we're on. And so I thought, well, then I'm going to come do it. Let's go do it. And so in 6 hours of time, that makes for a long day of rehearsals, but for putting a concert with 4 different selections, that's a short amount of time. And so the kids have worked really, really hard for me, and I really appreciate it. So kids, thank you. I've had a good time today, and it was totally worth missing my students today to come work with you. So thank you. Would you give your band directors and your parents a hand for all their support? We're going to close with our portion of the concert with a piece entitled Carpathia. How many of you are familiar with the Titanic? Okay, everybody's familiar with the Titanic. Okay, who in here is familiar with the Carpathia? Okay, got a few hands, all right. The Carpathia, and pardon me while I just read some of this, that way I don't stutter and stammer. The RMS Carpathia was sailing from New York City when her wireless operator received a distress signal from the RMS Titanic. And she immediately set course at maximum speed towards the last known position of the Titanic. Her captain managed to squeeze 17 knots out of a supposed 14-knot vessel, an amazing dangerous feat due to the risk of structural damage from excessive vibration and boiler explosion. After working her way through treacherous ice fields, the Carpathia arrived on the scene at 4 o'clock in the morning and was able to rescue 706 people. And so if you listen to the music, you're going to hear that sound as the Carpathia really pushed her engines to those 14 knots to reach the Titanic. You'll be able to tell at that moment where they arrive on the scene to discover the wreckage and the carnage, and then you'll hear the Carpathia push those engines again to get the 706 passengers of the Titanic home safely and to any attention that they needed medically. It's one of my favorite pieces. Hope you'll enjoy Carpathia by William Owens.